All right, so Nyakin here. So for today's video, we are going to do something a bit more different. I think my previous 4 videos have been something from like Dribble that I've been able to build with Breakdance. So what about we also try and create something from Figma, and then from Figma we're going to move it into Breakdance. But I'm not just going to use Breakdance for today. I'm going to use also Element Hive. So if you do have Element Hive and you're looking at you being able to like do anything fun with it, probably you should be able to learn 1 or 2 things from here. So from Figma to Breakdance with Element Hive. All right, so I do have some ideas in my head that I want to do. I want to add a bunch of gradients are fun, they are nice if you use them properly. So that is what we are going to try and do. So we're going to build our own gradient here. What I'm going to use is mostly circles or eclipse. So there's the first circle, and in this circle I am just going to double click it, and then you're going to have these like points that you can move around. We want our gradients to be fun, so this looks more like a blob. So yeah, something different. I want to click on that. All right, good. And then I'm just going to push this. Yeah, I think this is fine. All right, so we do have our first one. The next thing is probably let's add some color. It's a red, good. Okay, red can be good, and we can go into effects, right? And in effect we're gonna do layer blur, and let's give this one 100, so we can have this something like this over here. Probably we can duplicate this, right? Duplicate it somewhere, and in that we can also change the color to something else like that, and we can add another circle if we do want, another eclipse or circle, whatever we want to call it. So with something like this, let's go into effect, and effect we're going to do layer blur, and let's give this one like 200. So we do have something more like that, and we can also change the color to like something in here. So we do have a gradient like that, and let me just group everything in here. So there's our first gradient, and I think that is good. The next way that we are going to also create a gradient, we're going to use an image. So I am going to go into my folder here, let me delete that, and drag this then out onto like this. All right, so that's what I want to do is probably give it the same size. Let's try 1000 by 1000. Maybe that is too much. All right, and then let's hold on to this and make this one probably 600. All right, so we do have 600, and the next thing I want to do is to make this 360, right? All right, so we do have a nice circle like that. So we do have something like this. What we are going to do is go into effect, and then for layer blur we can make this 200. So we do have another gradient here. So you can build your own gradient, or you can, if you do have like an image, because this image I generated using I think Midjourney. Yeah, so this is a Midjourney image that I'm using to create this gradient over here. After that we are going to export it when the time comes. So let's leave this on here right there. The next thing is to add some text, right? As I said, we are going to incorporate Element Hive, so I'm going to just say create with, and then on this we are going to go into size. We are using power group text in the size, and then give this one 200 pixels. All right, so 200 pixels from this red line to this red line is 1440. So this is the first one. I can just duplicate it by holding option and then shift, and then we are going to type in Element Hive, which is good. All right, so these are them. If we want to make this look a bit more fun, we can probably play with colors and other stuff like that. Let's say if we hold there and then we go into image, right? Let's say we want to use an image. So let's pick this image, right? So you do have something like this, which is really difficult to see. So one thing that you can do is you can either give it a stroke, or you can give it like a shadow. All right, so we have a drop shadow like that. I'm going to go in and probably make this one 100, which is not good. 50, which is not bad. And for this, I am going to reduce this a little bit, and then I'm going to go probably add one more stroke. And for the stroke, I'm going to use like a color on this side. All right, yeah, I think this color works good. Let me just copy this color and come in here, and I'm going to go into stroke. Oh, you know, I'm just going to remove everything, remove that text. And the best way is duplicate this and then just type in Element Hive. All right, that is good. So let's say probably I might want to change the image in here, maybe change it to something else, like what else? Probably let's say this, right? So using that, so probably like 2 different images for what we have here. So we do have like create with Element Hive, which is cool. Is both of them selected? All right, so let's push it up. And the next thing I'm going to do is take some text. So do probably a text box in here. I am going to change the font size to probably like a 24. And I'm going to go into Element Hive and I'm going to just copy some text that I do have over there and come in here and just paste it. Yep. All right, so we do have something more like that. All right, I'm just changing the size so this one don't become 2. All right, so this should work. And probably let's add, I'm going to take this, or probably let's just take that and then duplicate it and then say best design plugin, you know. So that is that. And let's click on this to bring it to the side, and then let's do Shift A to add a frame around it. And then within the frame, probably we can do like a 35, and then we can do like a 15 to the top. And over here on the radius, we can do like a 25. That is good. All right. Probably one thing that we might want to do is probably change the background. Maybe change the background to a red. Do a fill of a red, right? Maybe the kind of red that we might want. And then for the text, we can also change this one to probably a white, which is fine. I don't think the red is it's not, I'm not feeling it. Probably yes, I think this is better. I'm going to change this one probably to a 20. All right, I think this is cool. And probably if we do one, we can add, let me go and find an emoji. So thumbs up emoji. I'm going to go and get a thumbs up emoji, copy that, come in here and then paste it. All right, so that is our little design thing. All right, so in between here we can do like 100 or 120, which is fine. And all right, and then do something here. Okay, so we do have something more like that. And this, let's group it, right? And we do the space in between is 30 pixels, and for this one the space in between is 120. But for these two, let's say we want a spacing of like probably like 60 pixels. All right, so this is there. We can put this one in the middle. Looks like it's in the middle, and everything is good. All right, so probably what we might want to do next is we are done. This is not giving me a lot of hope. You can barely see it, but this is good. We are done trying to make something over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export all of these things, and I'm going to use it when I get into Breakdance. So exporting these two. All right, let's call this one so background and then gradient 2. Let me just copy that, and then let me copy this. Let me go on to this one and then also name it background gradient 1. So this two selected. I'm going to go into export, and we're going to do PNG, and then we're just going to save it. Right, let's save it. All right, so that is done. We don't have to export anything else. All right, so now we are going to go into Breakdance and we are going to try and create this out. All right, so in here we do have a canvas, empty canvas, nothing on it. So first thing first, we are going to add a section. So section on here, let us probably go into size, and then for height, let's do custom, and then I'm going to do 100 dvh. And wrong height, so let's change this one to custom, right? And then do 100 dvh. All right, so that is good. And for width, we are going to leave the width at what it is already, which is the contain. You can choose contain, or it's already in the contain format. So that being done, we are going to deal with our gradients now. Okay, so let's go. So background here, let's go in and add an image. So image number 1, and then this one we are going to go into choose, and when we come here, I'm going to select this and put it over here. So first image is going to be this one. Probably the best thing that I would say you should do when it comes to this is probably like change the images into WebP, so that they become a bit more smaller, and then it's also better when it comes to all this page speed stuff. So that is something that you should look into. All right, so we added that. We are going to make this one position absolute. So position absolute, and we're going to give it a type of 0, and that should be good. All right, let's go into Figma and then see what we did. There's some space, but I think this is fine. All right, next thing is I'm just going to duplicate that, right? And I'm going to go into position again. And then with this, I am going to do the bottom is 0, and then for right is also 0. And then that being done, I'm going to go into the image and then select the other one, which is this. Probably we might want to move this one a bit up a bit when we are ready. Okay, so next thing that we are going to do is to add our text. So the text is going to be in a div, so that's the div, and then I'm going to go into index in the search, go into the advanced, and then make sure that this is 2, so that it comes on top of the gradients that we do have. So that being selected, let's add some text in here. So there's text number 1. What I am going to do is I'm going to open the utility extension so that I can use clam. So all right, so I'm going to make this probably all right, let's leave it this way, and then over here I'm going to give it 200 pixels, and that's fine. All right, so this being selected, let's make sure that we keep let's make this one an H2, then go into typography, and then for typography change the font size option to custom, and then paste in the size that we do want. All right, so that is good, and let's go in here and change this one to create width. Okay, that being done, I am going to go back into the styling panel, go into advanced, and then probably make this one a 1. 1 is good. We can even change it to 0.85, which might be better. All right, so that is that. We can start if we want to use the image that we used when it came to like changing the color. You can see that these, if we want to use those images, this still being selected, we can go into effects, and then for the fill, we can make a fill of an image, and then we can choose this. That was the first one, right? We can choose that. So you can see, you can barely see it. What I am going to do is select our section and then go into layout, and I want to bring this one down, right? But let's give it a bottom. What is spacing? So a bottom of probably 300. All right, so there's the text. Still in the effects panel, we can say that we want this one to cover, and that is fine, and we can give it a stroke of 2, and then go back in here, and this is our stroke. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to give this one the color, which is fine. If we do want, we can also give it like a text shadow so that it will stand out a little bit more. All right, what are we using in this side? We're using that. Okay, that is fine. So we do have that, and the next thing is probably we can just duplicate this, and then we can just add the other thing, which is Element Hive, right? And for that, we're going to go into styling, and we can go also into effects, and we can change this one to something like this. The cover is not doing it for me. Okay, auto. All right, let me move that. All right, but we can still it's still readable, so it's still selecting that div. We can go into gap and probably give it something like a 30 pixel. Maybe 30 pixels is too much, 20 pixels is fine. So we do have this. So that I don't know if I should change the color over here, but that is good. All right, next then is to add another div that is going to contain the button and this text that we do have over here. So button, let me just copy everything, and then let me just add a button, and then let's put the text over here, and let's make this one backslash. And then in the design, since we don't have already button made that is red, that is why we are going to do a custom. And then for that, we are going to go into size, and then we can do our own custom sizing by giving this one 20 pixel all around. And then I'm going to come back here and do 35 and then 35. All right, and when we go back in here, we can do a round. And then for background color, we can do a red. So I just want to find the red, copy that red, and just paste it, and that should be fine. And yep, that is good. Button looks a bit huge when it comes over here, so probably I'm just going to do a little tweak by making this one 15, and also coming here and then making this one also 15. I think that should be good. Next thing that I want to do is to add just simple text, and then for that I'm going to come in here and then copy this, paste it, and make sure that, and then we're going to go into styling. And when I look at this is what, let's make this one probably like a 500. Let's see. Okay, 500 is good, and I'm going to select this way. All right, so selecting that div, and here I'm going to make this one in the horizontal. I want to make it centered, right? And then we can do center align. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go into container, and then for width I'm going to do 100%. That is good. And over here, let's make this one 120 pixels. And going back into this text, I'm going to go into typography. Size is 24. You can either do RAM, so we can do 1.2 REM, which is fine. And then we can change weight to like a 500 to make it a bit more bold, and we can change the color to a black, which we can see. And going back to select our section, what I am going to do now is give this one a gap of probably 60 pixels. So we do have that. All right, so we've made something. So what I actually want to do, I can barely read this, which is not good. I don't know why this is not, it's not giving me the feeling that I thought it was going to give. It's not doing it at all. Contain. It's okay. I don't think that's okay, but let's leave it at this color first. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to implement a few more of Element Hive things in here. So selecting our section, I am going to go into Element Hive Pro, and we're going to do a bit more with background. So background color. So let's do the wavy gradient. So we do have something like that. But what we actually want is not that color. So let's go into colors, right? And then let's choose something like that, or maybe let's choose a white. Then for the second color, we are going to do a bit of a red, but not too much of a red, so that it gives a blends with our gradient, our other gradient that we do have over there. So that being done, our first gradient at the top, we are also going to implement a bit of Element Hive. So this, we're going to implement the mouse movement then, so mouse effect, right? And for that, we are going to go in there and then do the mouse track, enable a mouse track. We want to do opposite on this, right? And for maximum distance, let's do like 30 pixels. So you can see that when we move it to the right, it goes to the left. When we move it to the left, it goes to the right. That is fine. I'm going to go into the other one to go into the settings and then go into Element Hive Pro. And then for mouse effects, I'm just going to click in here and do a mouse track, enable, and I'm going to do direct. And also do this one 30 pixels. And that is good. Okay. So we save that. I am going to go into the front end and then preview what we just did. All right. So we do have this that has like a little bit of interaction, which is fine. A little bit of interaction. So you move it to the left, you move to the left, move to the right, move to the right. And this text is actually bothering me. So yeah, click on that. Probably let's remove this whole effect and probably give it a solid, like a really deep red. And also come in here and let me copy this red, right? Come in here, remove the effect, and then put also a red in here. Probably we might want to add a little bit of that, and then also we want to add a little bit of that. And even if we can add like one stroke, that is a bit of a red, or even with this red, I think that is better. A stroke of one and then that red, so that it can stand out a bit when it is on the gradient. All right, so this is something really simple and a bit of fun. If you're looking to create something like a little bit of interaction with Element Hive backgrounds, these wavy like gradient backgrounds are the best thing alive, and that is good. We can even add a few more of entrances, like entrance animation. So selecting on this dev, we can go into our advanced section, go into Element Hive Pro, and we can do entrance animation. And then for this, we can do, I think there's a mask, but I'm not going to use mask. I'm just going to do displacement. You see, that was good. Very simple. And then also come in here, go into the advanced section, and then do entrance animation and do displacement. Wait, it's fine. Probably, I think it's taking a bit of time to do this. So I think a 4 is good. And when I come in here too, I'm also going to say duration is probably like a 4, and then let's delay this for like 4 seconds, and then we're going to delay the not 4 seconds, sorry, also delay this like 0.5. all right, so that is good. And in the front, when I'm going to copy this and then go into incognito, and I'm just going to paste this over there. All right. Okay. So this is from Figma to Breakdance with Element Hive. But one thing that we can see, there's an overflow over here. We don't want that. We don't want no overflow. So I'm going to go back into our development and clicking on the section. I'm going to go down here to the search and then type overflow, and then click on the cog icon and then do hidden. I'm going to save that. I'm going to come back into the front and I'm going to refresh. And then we can see that we still have a bit of a scroll, dependent on like the things that we've already done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click in here and going on the section, right? I'm going to remove the spacing. I am going to remove that whole spacing thing. And then what I'm going to do is I want this one to be in the center, which is fine. And all right, let's preview this. All right, let me go in here and then probably go into incognito and add that. All right, so you can see that now it is just the whole the entire viewport rather than we having a scroll. So yeah, so that is that. If you are looking to, yeah, this is a bit more fun. Probably I am going to add this to More Blocks Pro, so that if you're in More Blocks Pro, you want to have this also for your own self. I'm going to add it, but you should be able to copy this if you do have Element Hive Pro. If you already purchased Element Hive Pro, you should be able to have the same thing and just paste it into your design. Yeah, so I think that that is it. If you did enjoy it, you can give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can also subscribe to the channel. name is Nyako. I'll see you on the next one.